So yes, I'm Stefan Schaffer from DFKI, and I will present you our joint project together with Lenovo, the Multilingual, Multimedia and Multimodal chatbot for the Lenovo global services. And I did this presentation together. I compiled it with Xingliang Miao, my colleague from Lenovo, and you can find him at the Lenovo booth. And he will be there. Unfortunately, he cannot hold the presentation together with me. But yeah, let's jump into it. Okay. Short agenda, an introduction, and it's like that. So if you want to succeed in a highly competitive industry, the businesses have to provide a seamless customer service. And the issue is, of course, that such a call center division may be expensive and that it comprises the quality of your customer care. So therefore, Lenovo, together with DFKI, built the call center project. And here we combine the power of the call center representatives with an AI-powered conversational bot. And the aim why we do this is that we want to, of course, service our customers at any time, any place, in their preferred way, and also in their own language. And this should be good for after-sale problems and also for whole life cycle problems. So, let me introduce you the bot, and I first want to mention the design of our chatbot. It was an iterative process, and we built the chatbot prototype first using prototyping software. And as you can see, we tried out different templates, different interaction types for our problem. So we did a lot of research here and tried out what kinds of interaction might solve our problem. And this is an internal iterative process as well. And then we decided that Facebook will be one of our channels, and therefore we implemented a static version of the Facebook dummy as a channel on Facebook. And there then we tested out all the interaction concepts that are there on Facebook. You will later see that we will have different platforms, different channels where we want to have the chatbot on, but this is the first one. And then we arrived at the Moli chatbot really finally, and then we of course had to get away from the static version, and we had to integrate a lot of intelligence, a lot of machine learning models and so on. So for example, examples for the smart interaction concepts are, for example, multilinguality. So if the user has an English-speaking chatbot, but for example, a Chinese phrase is presented, the system should answer in the user's language. And this is something that will be integrated in this system as well. Of course, multimedia content, we have different types of problems of the users, and these problems can be solved by text in combination with images, and of course, users want to see their solution, and therefore we also integrate videos into this chat. And what was very important, multimodality. Here you can see the user talking to the interface. And important principle of multimodal interaction is symmetry. So that means the system should also answer with spoken. You can see it now, but it's actually in the static prototype already integrated. We're working on that for the real integration as well, symmetric multimodal system. And also make use of other modalities of your device. So you can, for example, use other modes like your sensors from the smartphone to detect information, to put information into the system. And here we use the smartphone to automatically detect the model of the user's smartphone. So by now we have 3 different dialogue types. Example 1 is how-to questions. I don't know if you can read it. It says, how can I set up my email account? And then, of course, the most frequent answers are already presented, like an email setup, a Gmail label, or a sync account. And of course, you can then also refine your how-to question by your own words also. Troubleshooting. Here in this example, the user selected troubleshooting from the menu. The most frequent troubleshooting issues are already presented, but you can also add your own issues by saying, for example, I have an issue with my Wi-Fi. Can you please help me? And the third type of dialogue that we integrated by now is facts. The user could, for example, want to know, does the specific smartphone model integrate Bluetooth? And the system gives back the concrete Bluetooth version that is integrated in this smartphone model. So by now, as I said, we integrated the Facebook channel and also already a web channel. And this is the point where I switch to the architecture of the system, because the chatbot has several adapters or a gateway mechanism ready so that we can separate the logic from the business logic, from the logic of the graphical user interface. And as you can see, WeChat and the app channel are already on the plan. We have the ability to hand the interactions over to the real customer service agent. So this is necessary in some cases when the bot doesn't find an app or the user doesn't want to interact with the bot anymore, then the real call center agent can help out. And they also use the bot mechanisms and thereby also can fine-tune the mechanisms of the bot. Of course, we gather lots of data and we integrate this data and store this data in the backend system and use a dashboard to present this data and make use of this data again. And on the one hand side to visualize it, and on the other side, of course, reinforcement learning mechanisms that enhance the models that are used by the bot. Thereby we also make use of the Lenovo corporate knowledge graph, which is managed by a knowledge graph manager, and also crowdsourcing mechanisms are used to make use of the data that was gathered and to feed it back into the knowledge graph. Also, of course, call center agents make use of the graph. These are the technologies, the basic technologies that are used here. Of course, natural dialogue, image retrieval, speech recognition, and knowledge graph technologies. Some insights since the first release. So this is a screenshot from the nice dashboard that was developed by Lenovo guys. And here we have the business unit view on the data that is being gathered. And this is data from 1 week, only 7 days. And what we can see here, for example, I want to highlight two details here, is on the one hand side, where is our bot used? So the color map here says that it's mainly used in the USA, it's also China, and a little bit over the rest of the world. And during the last week, also 2 users from Israel used the system. And of course, we have total numbers. During the last 7 days, we had over 9,000 total numbers and more than 24,000 visits. That means that, of course, several users come again and again. What is also very important for us is the customer satisfaction. From time to time, the bot asks the customers if the satisfaction was okay or how it was, and we have a simple star rating here, and we are very proud that we have over 4 stars at the moment. And yeah, you can check it out on your own, on Facebook Messenger or on the Lenovo website, and yeah, rate the guy. We also have a technical view in the dashboard where lots of numbers are presented. We could talk a long time about that, I guess. So I again highlight only a part of it. By the way, at the Lenovo booth, there is a live demo running of this dashboard, and you can really see how the data is jumping and how suggestions and how ratings are coming in. It's really nice. So what is very important, what we also heard in the panel, I think, is the resolution rate. And we can be very proud that at the moment we are at 70%. I have to jump down. Wow. So This is the time of the release of our bot. We were at 62% resolution rate here, and this was in end of November last year, here, beginning of December. Before this time, it was all testing and all, data that we cannot so much make use of now, but you see it because of the history that we present here. And from that time on, we, of course, try to increase the resolution rate of the system. And what you can see, it had a little breakdown a few weeks ago. That was end of December. And there we integrated a few new intents into the system. Not a few, it was many, it was like thousands or something. And then, of course, we had to retrain our models, make the system better again. And now at the end, by now, we arrived at over 70% resolution rate again. What we also can see is, for example, the issues that are uttered or integrated by the users. You can see that over 13% are operating system and app issues, mainly from the USA, as we saw before in the picture. And interestingly, the Wi-Fi issue comes mainly from Canada. We don't know by now, but at least something must be wrong with the Wi-Fi in Canada. Somebody here from Canada? No. So we won't answer this question today. So to conclude, the Moli chatbot is a showcase project integrating cutting AI technologies from Lenovo and DFKI. It will be part of the Lenovo AI platform, and Lenovo builds an AI ecosystem, and they collaborate with academia and business partners. And the academic partners is DFKI, and in this project we act as a Kickstarter for the AI-based innovation at Lenovo. If you're interested in these collaborating with Lenovo or DFKI, then drop by after the talk or at the booth, and it was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you.